I'm your ice cream man, baby. Stop me when I'm passing by.
You guys, do you know what we call this little chit chat?
What?
There's some alliteration involved. We have just deposited fresh pieces of delicious gum. Because when you're in this kind of proximity, you want to make sure you don't offend your loved ones.
That's right.
So I guess that means you're one of my loved ones.
I am.
But the gum makes it tricky. The diction certainly suffers.
But it's fun. Do you know there's a study that chewing gum makes you smarter? I'll find the stats and stick them in here somewhere. I just read
I
it.
need this. I will chew from now on 2 pieces all day long if it can make me smarter.
It makes you smarter. It
I
helps
need-
self-regulate you. I'm taking this. I'm in this conflict resolution course right now, and there's a whole thing on chewing gum. I'm like, what? Really? Chewing gum is good for conflict resolution? Okay.
You are the queen of the segue without even unintentional queen of the segue. So first of all, yes, Harleys and Hairspray. But number 2, I want to know what you've been up to. I haven't seen you in a while. And here you go saying, I'm in this ba 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 and ba ba ba. So let's fill in all the ba 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 ba's while I
Oh my
chew some gum.
gosh, there's so much I can say,
What
and
you
I could
been up
take
to?
over the. Okay, well,
Please.
as you know, for those of you who've been following,
The takeovers. The beginning.
the take.
Okay,
Okay,
the takeover. This is the takeover.
It's a takeover. That was very Muppet-like of you. That was
Very-
adorable.
The Muppets raised me.
Oh, right?
Don't we look a little Muppet-like?
It's time to put on makeup. It's time to light the lights. It's time to get things started on the Muppet Show tonight.
Remember those 2 guys in the balcony?
Oh, yeah, they're the best.
We're kind of...
Yeah.
Okay, go. The takeover.
Okay. Those of you who have been following us know that I am getting my diploma in expressive arts therapy. And the school that I'm getting this through is WHEAT, Winnipeg's Holistic Expressive Arts Therapy Institute.
So you're getting a diploma in EAT at
And
Wheat.
Yes, I'm eating wheat. That's right. And, oh my God. And the school is really rooted in social justice. And so I'm like, it's so fascinating to be learning expressive arts therapy through that lens. So conflict resolution, racism, really looking at activism. And, you know, I think in the way that the world is right now, which is a very precarious place, and I think you and I have said this before, you know, I think we're in the age of the artist, because artists know how to communicate when words are not possible. We also, when there are places that are so divisive, art can be a place that connects us without having to divide. And so I think part of, like, when I think about why is this school grounded in social justice? That's why. It's very cool. And so, yeah, I'm also working with another big project in Vancouver. Vancouver is on a beginning path of becoming a restorative city, which means the practices of restorative justice, which is I'm going to be very minimalistic in explanation here, is a story approach or a listening approach to finding a way to resolve things that are in conflict. That's again a very minimalist way. There's 3 questions. I'm not going to go into blah, but that's a way to kind of get there.
But listening is the crux.
Listening is the crux, and the story of each other. And so I'm in a conflict resolution course there. I'm actually learning how to be a peace builder in a neighborhood. So I'm just like, I'm learning so much, and this might be a really great segue into art, because you know how there's moments when you're making art that you don't know where you are, and you simply have to just, I think, go there. I don't know where I am, and I'm all in, and I'm waiting for where I am to tell me where I am.
You're listening.
That's where I am as a student right now. It feels a bit like drowning, in a good way. Like it's like when you're out on a great swim and you're getting tired, but it's so good and you don't want to go back yet. That's where I am right now.
That's so exciting. Do you feel rejuvenated and young again, soulfully young?
Ooh, no. What I feel is, I'm going to swear, fucking glad to be in my 50s. Like, so glad. Like, learning at this stage is, there's no anxiety. I feel like the things I am passionate about, I'm like not embarrassed about being passionate about it. I put my hand up when I want to put my hand up. I ask the hard question when I want to ask a hard question. I don't care about being a good student. I care about getting everything I can out of the learning.
You embrace it all in the best way.
Yeah, and when I'm lost, I'm like, I am so lost. And I'll just say it.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. I'm so happy for you. I think we're at odds because as you're learning to be a peace builder, when you were saying that, I thought,
Okay.
I don't relate to you. I can't relate. I won't relate to you.
Okay. Say more.
Because I need conflict. I need tension that I can release.
Okay.
And this is a recurring topic in our conversations, the idea of life and art being tension resolution in a cycle, in an endless loop. And to me, looking for tranquility somehow is insufficient. Being a peace builder, I don't understand the point of peace in art. Jackson Pollock doesn't look like peace in art. Stravinsky doesn't sound like peace in art. So I need Go. What are you thinking?
So here's where I think peace can land. Peace can land in, I don't like this word because it's so overplayed, but peace can land in truth. And truth can be tense.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be tranquil. In fact, truth usually is not tranquil. And yet, when something actually lands, you know. Like, it's that question of when do you know your piece of art is done? Piece of music, piece of whatever. How do you know? Right?
Yeah.
How do you know? How do you know? Curious.
I know it's done when I don't have to overwork it. It tells me. I craft something and I sculpt it, but when you squeeze the last drop out of that wet towel, you're done. Don't keep squeezing. You're now just a prune. You're done.
So how do you know? How do you know not to squeeze again?
Because every part plays its role really well to get in isolation and collaboratively. There's nothing more that you can do to make it a better series of relationships. I'm thinking musically in terms of form. There's nothing more that you can do. The introduction does exactly what it needs to do. The verse does exactly what it needs to do, or, every part of it is exactly what it needs to be within the topography or the landscape of the overall picture. And on its own, a snippet, a section may not be magical, but it's magical in that relationship.
So tell me about how so you say it's done when it needs to do. How do you know it's done when it needs to do?
I'm a fan of John Mayer, and he has a song called Say What You Need to Say.
Great.
And his whole chorus, so many writers or poets or lyricists, just work it and beat it up and work it and beat it, and they're infusing it with imagery and metaphors and similes and onomatopoeia, and this is just work it, I need more. And then John Mayer sings a chorus that goes, say what you need to say, say what you need to say, just say what you need to say, and then you're out.
So
the truth, you're talking about landing in the truth?
That's where I'm going.
You gotta land in the truth.
I think we're going to the same place.
You just say it. When it says what it needs to say, you're out.
No more, no less, which that in itself has tension. No more, no less. No more, no less. It's like it hovers and lands at the same time.
It hovers and lands at the same time. And I see that as making something simple is a very difficult task.
For this brain, it totally is.
Because you have to chisel away Hello, sculptors. Welcome to this conversation.
Because this is chiseling.
This is chiseling, not swimming for you. Chiseling. You have to chisel away all that is unnecessary. In fact, let's go a step further and get a little philosophical with it. You have to chisel away all that is false to reveal the truth.
Oh, you have to chisel away all that is false to reveal the truth. I love that.
I want to see my six-pack. I really do. But I gotta get rid of some of that fat that obscures it. Because I'm really after the truth. The truth is the six-pack.
I see.
Right?
I see.
The fat is the unnecessary extravagance and all of the, it's all extraneous. It's not needed. It's not functional. The abs are the, winter's
functional
coming.
is one of those words for me that I'm like,
Winter, not to be confused with dysfunction. Functional doesn't have to be the opposite of dysfunctional. So let's be cool about
Because
it. I'm just saying.
Pollock, if you were just getting to know his work, you'd like, is that art functional? Is all of that stuff functional? So listen to the words, but feel them. Don't hear them, because we have definitions of what functional means.
Right.
No, functional is it said what it needed to say.
It just revealed the truth. It just got to the truth on every level. And that work is difficult. So when you hear a song and you think, oh, I could write that, it's simple. Go ahead. Go ahead. Because what you're
Go ahead.
Just go ahead. What you're starting with is limitless options. What do I write about? Where do I begin? How do I tell the story? How do I unfold it? Yeah, go ahead. Make it simple. Because first you have to get through all of the weeds with your machete in the jungle and get rid of that and just reveal the truth. Being simple and saying what you need to say strictly is very, very painstaking. Can be very painstaking.
So I'm going to add a little bit in here, and I bet
Please.
I bet you can go here with music. So an example of saying what you need to say, but being extravagant about it and truthful is George Carlin, as a comedian, right? So just be clear. We are not saying say few words unless that's what's truthful for you. You might be an artist that flowers everything, spins a yarn for, 30 minutes and then lands the plane and we lose our shit. But you've needed to do that. But only you will know what's truthful for you. Are you a yarn spinner, or are you do you drop just enough?
Yeah, and you hear this in Beethoven cadences. Ba, ba, ba. Da-da-da-da. Boom, ba. And because he makes he builds so much of a tease into the tension of a cadence, or you see it in Ravel and Debussy and how flowery they are, but they're only flowery so that their truth has that much more gravitas and resonates that much more. They specifically take you on a long cadential journey or a long flowery episode so that when they land, it's even more of a gut punch. And George Carlin, same way. He's such a genius. Such a genius. And so my son got me a little mini book called Bird Droppings. Okay. And every page is just a little bird dropping of wisdom, but the way he maybe that's why I relate to him so well, because he loves words and he sets you up and sets you up and makes you think and then drops a truth bomb. And you think, thanks, George. You just took me on a roller coaster ride I didn't realize I needed. And after all of this chaos, Sturm und Drang, as we say in Germanic 19th century music, he lands the plane and it is a shocker. And it makes sense to you because it speaks to the human condition. That's the beauty. And that's what it is. Get rid of, just get to the truth. Land the plane in the truth.
Yeah.
So I think that's what, when I say, when you're a peace builder, I think you're landing in the truth. When I'm in conflict mode and I need tension, I think I'm really excited about the setup, because I think the landing in the truth will be that much more potent. I'm equally concerned, probably as you, with landing in the truth. but most of my focus is in the setup. Mm-hmm. Not to speak on your behalf,
Well,
but both are valid.
I think what's important here is there's lots of things that are important here, but like we're showing all the different things to explore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like now I'm thinking about different art forms, and I think about like a great thriller, right? A great thriller will end on a cliffhanger. And so it ends on tension. It actually never, there's build up, but it actually never lands. But that is the impact, that's the desired impact that the artist wants. So it's still truthful.
That's right.
And sometimes, that genre exists because it is the delivery of the thrill, right? But sometimes it's the delivery of the unknown that forces the viewer or the reader to arrive at their own ending. And there's different impacts. You get where I'm going? Like there's conflict for the thrill's sake, and there's conflict for the space sake, so that it does end, but not in writing or not in the screen. It ends in the viewer's mind.
Do I get where you're going? May I remind the viewership of a great director and screenwriter named M. Night Shyamalan. And I think his first movie, I don't know if it was his first, but his first wide release with Bruce Willis was The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
That was the ride. I think it was so effective, and it made so much noise internationally because nobody before him really crystallized that notion so perfectly. He took this formula and made it a brand new genre, and then made that brand new genre ubiquitous.
Yeah.
And it was so perfect because you thought for 2 hours you were seeing one story, and then the last 5 minutes of the movie, he tells you were seeing you were seeing the other side of the coin entirely.
Yeah.
You weren't seeing the heads, you were seeing the tails. And he took you all around the heads, thinking you were going to land on the heads of the coin. And then he flips it at the end. You say, I didn't even see that coming. You had me. That was amazing. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That was going to say, that's why that's genius.
Yeah.
But it's the way he packaged it and crystallized it so perfectly. That way of being, that philosophy. And that's why it resonated so loudly, because I said in one of the other episodes, we were talking about country music. It's always right there.
Right.
But good writers are able to pick it out of the ether and give it to you. We're all living with it. What you're describing, we're all living with it.
Yeah.
We just can't package it up like that.
Yeah.
We can't take ourselves on the ride. So we need the artist to do that for us. The artists who understand that space and explore that space and struggle with that space and struggle to land on the truth and struggle to chisel away the unnecessary and the falsities to reveal the truth. It's a lifelong struggle. And that's the assignment we've been given, which to me is liberation, because that is our roadmap.
Okay, just pause.
Just
for
cycling
a sec.
that back for you.
Wow.
I know.
So like the assignment is actually to struggle, which delivers the liberation, and that is the roadmap. What?
But hold on. Yes, but not just for you, but for the audience following you on your ride of a particular piece in any medium.
Okay, right.
You're on a...
Totally, because it's not just... Right, okay.
The assignment is the struggle to get to liberation and to get to the truth, and that is your roadmap, and it's filled with elation and freedom, because you know exactly what you're meant to do. But it's not meant to be done in isolation by the artist for the artist. It's meant to be done by the artist for the populace.
Yes. I just struggle with the word populace, but anyway, yes.
The masses.
No, for the people who get it.
For the people.
For the people.
Or for the people who are interested or
Yes.
want to be switched on, and
Exactly.
may help them get switched on. But you can't
Totally.
work in isolation.
Yes.
We work in isolation as a sense of our personal inspiration, but we're not meant to exist
Yes.
in isolation selfishly as artists, because the very nature of art is the sharing thereof.
Ooh, that's a whole other episode. I want to go there.
All these polysyllabic words have plum tuckered me out. Plum tuckered.
That's very simple of you.
Right quick.
You did great.
Hey, catch us again.
See you on Harleys and Hairspray.
Let me cool you one time. You'll be my regular stop.